Welcome back to the Social Selling Podcast, and I am so pumped for this episode today because I feel like I'm in the presence of royalty. But my guest today is someone that I genuinely, massively look up to in this space. I have been fortunate enough to meet in person, and honestly, his energy is even bigger in person. But my guest today is the epic Bornancin, the CEO of Seamless.ai, 5 times best-selling author, and genuinely one of the most impactful and influential people in sales. Brandon, thank you so much for being a guest on the episode today.
Hey, Daniel, super excited to be here, man. Thanks so much for having me on the show. Love everything you've taught me in social, and it's been amazing, man. Honored to be here.
Do you know what? We met in person at the Outbound conference a couple of years ago. And I mean, I'm hoping the people that watch and listen to this podcast will kind of see the energy I have. And Brandon has even more energy. So when we were sat together, we did some videos together, and it was just a pure burst of sales enthusiasm, which was really exciting. But what you've done in your entire career and what you're building now is so inspiring, and how you're helping so many salespeople and sales teams. I can't wait to dig into. Well, there's so much we can cover today: businesses on LinkedIn, social selling, and your latest book with Wiley, which is incredible. The Power of Going All In is kind of what I want to be the core part of this episode. That sort of importance of being consistent and being persistent. But let's take it back. I'd love the audience to get to know you a little bit better. Tell us a little bit, Brandon, about your sales journey, and then essentially what's led you to Seamless.
Yeah, I'll keep this super short and sweet. Growing up, my family didn't have a lot of money, so I knew I wanted to make money, um, and I wasn't very smart. So, when I started to go to school, like out of school and go into college, I was like, I got to start a business. And at the time, online poker was super successful. So I figured out how to sell people to join these poker companies and get paid $150, $250 per sign up. So I
Nice.
scaled that to $12 million in sales as a freshman, sophomore, junior in college. Then the US government made online gambling illegal. So it just crashed. Then I decided to start a second company called InMobile, which was a text message marketing company. Ran that for 4 years, and I didn't know B2B sales. So the online gambling deal was B2C sales, and I loved playing online poker. So that was easy to pitch everyone. B2B sales is totally different. As a college kid, college graduate, I sucked at B2B sales. The InMobile company failed. I lost 4 million, went bankrupt at a really early age. And then I was like, what do I do? I've got nothing. I moved into my girlfriend's parents' house, broke as shit. Like, I went on a super high of like, I made all this money in the poker industry. And then I tried to launch this awesome B2B software company, and it crashed, and I lost it all. So I'm sleeping on the floor of a air mattress in my girlfriend's parents' house because my parents moved away. And I was like, I gotta figure something out. And that's when I was like, okay, I'll just get a sales job, and ended up selling for a company called IBM Interactive. And when I was selling for IBM Interactive, I needed to sell to all these digital marketers, people that are good at digital marketing, VPs, directors at Fortune 500 companies. Well, I would log in to these paid databases that IBM Interactive gave us, and they didn't have any of the emails and phone numbers and cell phones of the people that I needed to sell to. So I'm like, what the hell? I kept missing my quota. And when I was going back at IBM why I was missing my quota, it was because I was spending all my time trying to find contact info for the prospects I needed to sell. I'm like, this is stupid. I'm going to build a search engine to find everyone's emails, everyone's phone numbers. And I ended up building it. It was called Seamless Contacts at the time. And then eventually, became a millionaire in sales, ended up crushing my quota. And I was like, I want to help every salesperson in the world do the same. And that's where it kind of started this company called Seamless.ai, where we use AI to find everyone's emails and phone numbers in the world and automatically get into your CRM. And now we've got over 1 million salespeople who have booked 28 million appointments, have sold billions of dollars in revenue. And, in 4 years, we did almost $200 million in sales. So I'm grateful, honored. And our mission is just to help the world connect opportunity and find new customers, grow their business, make more money so they can help more people. If you don't grow your business and make more money, you can't help more people. And that's our whole mission. Whatever it takes to help you grow your business and make more money with the world's best sales leads at Seamless.ai.
I love your story so much. And I love how Seamless came from a problem you faced in sales, which, as scary as it sounds, I mean, I've experienced it so many times in my sales career. And I know there are lots of sellers listening to this, looking at their leads and data, thinking, our data's so out of date. You know, the amount of times that people phone people and numbers have changed, people have moved on from companies. And when you're trying to sell, those are issues you just don't want to have to deal with. You need to put all your energy into selling. If you have
Selling is already hard.
it
Like,
is
like to
so hard.
break in the door, to get the hook, the value, the secret, the explanation, the social proof, the call to action, the relevancy, the personalization, like that is already hard to do when your boss is telling you you have to do this for 100 people a day.
Yeah.
So why add another 4 hours a day in your workflow by making it difficult to find all the people you need to sell to at every company? That was the goal of Seamless.ai. Just automate it all so you spend zero time on list building and all of your time on the research, the personalization, the outreach, the pitching, the closing, so that you can make as much money as humanly possible.
You've solved the problem and it's now avoidable. So people don't need to waste time doing these things when they can be using Seamless. I'm a huge Seamless fan, Brandon. You know, everyone knows
Yeah,
that.
thank you.
So,
Honored.
you know, we're going to talk about it a lot, but it's the problem that I think we want to focus on. And what I love is that you had that problem. You were in sales, you had that problem, you built a solution. Now you're passing it around the world so sales teams all over the world can benefit on it. What I love about this journey, and I'm very curious to tap into, because we'll have a mixed demographic of our audience. You've come from a pre-social sales world. So you've come from a time before social media was such a big thing. And I'd love to know your experience, especially as you're building Seamless as well. How have you seen that impact from when you were selling before with calls and emails, and now calls, emails, and social? How have you seen that sort of transition, and how has it impacted your journey?
Yeah, it's crazy. I was fortunate enough that Seamless was the first to leverage AI, artificial intelligence, to find people's emails and phone numbers. We built this real-time search engine where the founder of Google and his wife, Sergey Brin and Nicole Shanahan, ended up investing in Seamless. Guy Kawasaki invested in Seamless. So like Amazon, Dun& Bradstreet, all these companies like invested in Seamless at the beginning because we were at the forefront of artificial intelligence and using it to help the world connect to each other. So like I got hit up by a lot of celebrities and experts in the industry who had a massive following. Like when I started the company, you know, in the 2018 or I started really on social in 2015.
Mhm.
And I remember when Grant and Jared, if anyone's ever heard of Grant Cardone, Grant and Jared were like, what's this AI thing? And they're like, we should fly this guy in who's running this company, who's using AI to find everyone's leads. So I fly into Grant's office and I'm pitching them Seamless and how they could use it for B2B prospecting because they were mainly into auto sales at the time. When I walk in the room to meet Grant, I've got 2 to 3 camera people on me. And, and like I'm 28, I've never been on camera. Like this guy's kind of famous with a few books and he's all over social media on YouTube. This was like before LinkedIn was like super massive. And I remember going to that meeting with Grant, and then the same thing happened when I got to meet Damon John and Gary Vaynerchuk. These guys had cameras everywhere that were following them, and they were documenting and posting everywhere on social. And I remember when it really hit me, I had that epiphany moment. So met with Grant and Jared, sold them on buying Seamless, which was awesome. And then leaving that, going to the airport from Miami back to Columbus, Ohio, where I'm from, I was like, I was so scared, but like this guy, these social media gurus are onto something, sharing their knowledge, documenting everything they have going. And I told myself from that day forward, I am going to post on social media every day. I'm going to create content every day, and I'm going to probably suck really bad at it. But over time, I think with the reps and the data, I'm going to get better and better and better so that I could help my audience grow their business, make more money, help more people. And then the rest has been history. I was very early similar to you on LinkedIn. Like I was an account executive just getting started on LinkedIn. And then I was like one of the first AI CEOs or just CEOs in general posting on LinkedIn and documenting the journey. And it's been awesome. It's been a hell of a run. Like social selling and social media and LinkedIn have generated millions upon millions of sales for Seamless, for our audience, you name it. And like I love that, but it's more about like just helping our followers. Like if I make deposits into our audience and I help them get closer to their goals, over time they will either become a customer or they will tell someone they should become a customer. And it's
That
that multiplier, I think it's
Brandon,
huge.
that's got to be one of my favorite phrases I've listened to. Make deposits into my audience. I love that. That's such a great way of framing it. Investing in your audience, giving, investing, making investments into them. I love that. We're going to take a quick break on today's episode to give a huge shout out to our amazing sponsors, Sugar CRM. They have put together one of the best ebooks I have seen in years. It is all around the future of sales. It is titled Mastering Guided Selling. What is guided selling, I hear you ask? It is the AI infusion into the sales process. And they've put together 16 pages of pure gold around how you can leverage AI into your sales process to sell better. The companies that are bringing AI into the sales process are seeing a 10 to 20% increase in sales. AI, when used right, can help you sell more. But it isn't easy. It is complicated, which is why Sugar CRM have put together an incredible ebook, 16 pages of pure gold, and you can get your copy completely free. Just head to www.sugarcrm.com/social selling podcast. You can grab it there. We'll put a link in the show notes as well. Go and grab your copy, and we'll get right back to the episode. And the two things that you've kind of highlighted that I think are the core values of success on social are sharing your journey. And I love that because people have got to know you as an individual. They've got to know Seamless as a brand, Seamless as a company, the team that sit within Seamless, which is amazing because people then become connected to that journey, but also in giving value and helping people, which is what you're doing with your business anyway, what inspired you to create Seamless, but the fact that you're doing that on social as well, because a lot of people go the other way. They think of social as a way to advertise and promote, and it's always me, and I'm trying to sell this and that. But you've gone the different way, which I think is the more effective way, which is I just want to give. I just want to share the journey and give value and help people, because that's definitely what works short term and long term. Was that obvious to you at the start, or did you sort of trial and error? Where did you get to that kind of approach?
Yeah, I just saw that the companies and the people that were posting about their product and service were getting no traction.
Yeah.
Like, and then I just thought of like, if it's me and I keep seeing this company post about their IT software or their HR services or their digital agency, like that doesn't add any value to my life. So I was like, I want to do the exact opposite of that. I'm going to share my expertise. Like my audience are salespeople and entrepreneurs that want to grow their business, make more money, help more people. So I'm going to write content to help them do that. And that's always been the pillar of like, okay, what do I know? I know about list building and prospecting and sales leads. I know about cold calling, social selling, cold email, sales discovery, pitching, closing, follow up, sales objections. I'm not interested. It's too expensive. Already working with someone. Send me more info. You name it, like all of these things. And then I'm just going to write and teach about those things on social. And then from there, it's grown. To millions of views every few days per channel. And it's been awesome. It's not easy, like I think something that I spend a minute on, could get millions of views and, thousands of engagements. And then something I spend 4 hours on could get a few hundred views and very few engagements. I try not to be overly obsessed with like the clickbait of the views and the engagement. I want to use that as a guiding principle. But even if I spent a lot of time and effort on something that I thought would change someone's life, I believe that will, like, even if it's 400 people, maybe those 5 out of the 400 actually become a customer or refer someone to me. Like, so I just want to focus on building the content for the the one person I'm trying to help. And then if it does really well, then that's amazing.
I think you've definitely set a pretty high ceiling for quality in your content as well. And I bet that comes back from all the experiences you've had with some huge people like Grant and Gary Vaynerchuk, who definitely in the B2C world, the sort of standards of content is much higher than in B2B. But because you've kept that standard and moved it into B2B, your content, the Seamless content is impeccable. Do you think companies should be investing some amount into studio space and better camera equipment? Do you think it makes a big impact on the content's impact?
Great question. So, I mean, I invested into 2 different studios. And what was interesting is at first the content in the studios performed really well, like 5 years ago. Now, the content that is real and just live, like with your iPhone, is performing way better than any content in a studio. Because if you think about it, if you pull it up, someone sees a studio, like it just doesn't come off as real, authentic. It's overproduced. People want real life social content, and the stuff on the go or live, or like if I'm right here and I bring out my phone and I just start shooting, like, hey guys, I'm in a podcast with Daniel Dizzy, and he talked about the importance of value-added follow-up on social media. Like that would perform way better than if I was in my studio. Hey guys, today we're going to talk about this and this and this. For whatever reason, I don't know if the audience is sick of the highly produced studio stuff. So I would actually recommend, don't worry about a studio. Don't even worry about equipment. Worry about the message.
Oh, I love that.
Like I've got a social media canvas or framework where step 1, who's the persona? Like my persona for Seamless is B2B salespeople, and like B2B salespeople in SaaS struggling to find the leads they need to book more appointments, close more sales, and crush their sales quota or sales number. Okay. What is their biggest problem? They're not booking enough appointments. They're not winning enough customers. They're missing their quota. Okay, what's the solution or the idea for my post? Okay, let's just use AI to automate list building and prospecting. Okay, so there's the idea, the hook. So like I've got this rhythm of like things that I want to think about for a post. So then the hook would be like, the salespeople that I've met that are constantly hitting their numbers are using artificial intelligence. And here's one secret that you can implement today to make more money. So like you think about all these different hooks to talk about the idea that you want to talk about. Because, for example, like in social media, short, which you know of, that's 30 seconds. That's 30 seconds of content is 4 to 6 sentences. It's 3 to 5 seconds almost, in a way, for every 3 to 5 words. Let's just say a sentence is 5 to 7 to 10 seconds. So each thing, like the hook, the secret, the value, the example or explanation, the call to action, I love using like a formula to think through what I'm going to say. So instead of investing, long story short, in a studio, I would spend all the energy and time on the message. Like, what's the hook? Like, what's the idea? What's the hook? What is the secret? What is the value? What is the explanation of the secret and the value? And then what is the call to action? By the way, shorts are what's blowing up right now. Do that in 30 seconds or less, which means every second has to fight for its life of someone's attention to keep them hooked to watch the next 3 to 5 seconds.
Such fire advice, Brandon. This is what I'm really excited about talking to you, because you get it. And I love that advice. You don't need a studio or all the fancy equipment. It's all about the value in the content you give. And most salespeople, business owners, entrepreneurs have tons of knowledge and insights and experience that they can share. But most people will have a camera on their phone that they can pick up anywhere they are in the world and start sharing that value, whether it's a video, a photo, whether it's a text post. But I love that your focus is on make the focus and priority be the value you give, but also with the hook, because I mean, you must have seen it as well as I have and our audience has. LinkedIn's becoming a noisier and noisier place. The feed is getting busier and busier. So standing out is harder than it's ever been before, which is why hooks are so important. How have you seen that change over the years where it is more competitive to stand out now? And what are some of the things that you're really focusing on to make the most effective hooks?
Yeah. Before I used to just shoot any idea that came to me. And when LinkedIn and the social channels weren't crowded, it did really well because no one saw anyone posting video content or
Mm-hmm.
anyone posting text content. So I got a really good advantage at the beginning, just like you did,
Mm-hmm.
of just being first to market, posting, scaled the following really well. Well, the past few years, it's so much harder to grow because everyone's posting and it's hard to get people's attention. So, like, for any post now, I try to follow that formula that I'd highlighted earlier in the episode. But I recommend writing, 5 to 10 different hooks for your social post. Try to figure out which one would maximize the value. And you could actually use the 10 different hooks, the same video, and then even 5 different call to actions at the end. So, like, have you ever used AI to generate more sales? Well, there's this little secret that will book more appointments faster than anything you've ever tried before. Let me explain. So, like, that's one hook that's totally different than when I explained it earlier.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, use this 3-step formula to automate list building using AI. Step one, so you could write these different hooks, attach the video with the content to it. So you're almost like splicing 10 hook videos,
Mm-hmm.
the full body of the video. So let's just say the hook is 5 seconds. And then you've got your 25 or 60-second education clip. And then you could test 5 call to actions. I try to do that with my social content. And by the way, I'm not good at this. Like, I'm not smart and I'm not good at this. I try to just keep testing it, keep doing it, and over time you'll get really good at, okay, my social media post should have a hook, a secret, a value, an explanation, a call to action, and I got to do it in 60 seconds or less because no one's got attention. I would recommend 30 seconds or less because it's getting shorter and shorter. And by doing those reps of just practice, okay, today I want to do a cold calling video. Today I want to teach a social selling strategy on LinkedIn. Idea, hook, secret, value, explanation, call to action, write it all out, record it, test the different hooks. That's how I do it. And then also Chat GPT.
Yeah.
Like, I love coming up with a hook and saying, Chat GPT, yeah, you are an expert top 1% copywriter in advertising. You used to work for Ogilvy, the advertising godfather or whoever, right? Like, write 10 hooks better than this one. And then I'll provide the hook that I've got. And let's just see what GPT comes up with. Let's see if I could just take a bunch of different words and match them together that would really hit home to the audience. I also test hook writing on LinkedIn.
Mhm.
So, like, if I've got 10 hooks, I'll just drop a hook on LinkedIn, see how it does. Drop another hook on LinkedIn, see how it does. If I see between those two, one got 100,000 views and the other one got 10,000, I'm going with 100,000. I'm going to put that in a video and rock and roll.
Love it. You're testing trial and error and practice, persistence, consistency, which kind of really comes together for how I really wanted to finish the episode, which is your latest book, Doing Whatever It Takes. And that seems to have been the core of your strategy in business. You can see it from the journey you had to getting to building Seamless. You can see it with your LinkedIn and social selling strategy. It is this consistency and persistence to find and be the best that you can be or build the best that you can build. This new book, I mean, I've read it a couple of times now, Brandon. I really, really love it. I love the way you've built it. I love the way you've formulated it. And there are so many parts of it that I've read. I'm thinking, so motivating. I remember having that mindset where I'll look at something and think, actually, I'm going to test that out. Just talk us through what inspired you to write that book and what are some of the biggest tips and lessons that are hidden within it?
Yeah. So ironically, I had two new books come out, that are number one bestsellers really fast. Whatever it takes, you know, just like when I built Seamless.ai, I wanted to give everyone the easiest way to find everyone's contact info to automate list building. Whatever it takes was doing the same for, like, what were the habits and the principles and the strategies that I personally leveraged to make $200 million in sales in my own company. So from $0 working out of, a basement to doing $200 million in sales and then powering 28 million appointments and billions in revenue for our customers. I just wrote them down, right? All these different habits about mindset, about, the power of positivity, coachability, doing whatever it takes, hard work, you name it, like these lessons, these secrets, these principles. There's over 100 principles in the Whatever It Takes book that you can apply to build that unstoppable, limitless mindset and habits for massive success. And then my newest book that just came out is The Power of Going All In. To be successful, like a lot of people will tell you, oh, you have to diversify and do 10 things. And, dude, have you ever tried to do 10 things at once? Nothing ever gets done. The most successful people that I've ever met, the most successful people that I've ever talked to, they went all in. Tony Robbins, he went all in on creating leadership mindset coaching. Elon Musk went all in with freaking PayPal, and then he went all in with Tesla, and then he went all in with SpaceX, right? Now he's going interestingly all in on X, right? Reid Hoffman, founder of LinkedIn, he didn't try to do a social network and a pizza shop and 17 other different things. He went all in on building LinkedIn to be the best professional network in the world. So I wrote The Power of Going All In to teach leaders, coaches, managers, anyone the secrets to go all in, to create the life they want, the business they want, the team they want, to become unstoppable and achieve everything in their life. And this book is awesome because it's got a secret per day. So every day you've got a different secret. It's very easy to read. So you just come in here, a secret a day. You could read one a day or 20 a day, whatever it is. I just start applying it, and all these lessons in these books, you don't like read it once and then walk away. You read them over and over again, because in your life, you're going through different challenges and hardships and objectives that you're trying to achieve and goals. So when you read it one time and then you go back to it 6 months, 3 months, a year from now, you read it again, it's going to hit you differently and teach you something different that you can apply to achieve your goals in that point in time.
I think I've hacked what is the secret to your success, Brandon. And it is that you just want to help people. Whether it's your business with Seamless, you want to help people get the data, the contact details, the phone numbers, the email addresses, so that they can sell more effectively. With your content, it's all about helping your audience. And with your book, it's about helping people, whether it's salespeople, leaders, learn the lessons they need to learn. And what you do in all of those things is you just make things as easy as possible. And I love that as the corest of your values. I can just see that oozing through. And I think everyone who's listened to this or watching this, go and check out Seamless.ai, because it is the best data out there, real time B2B contact data. It is the best that's out there. Check out Brandon's books, check out Brandon's content, because you are on the truest of all missions, which is to help people. And I applaud that for you, Brandon.
Yeah, thanks, man. I mean, it's a long game, right? Like I really started doing that in 2015. I was like, the more I give, I bet you the more I'll get. And like, if there's one thing that's true, it worked extremely well for me. I can only talk about me and my experiences. So I don't try to say that upon anyone. I was like, I'm going to give more than I try to get back from others. And I believe that over time, even if the results aren't instant, over time, playing the long game, it will pay off. And, it has for me. I want it to pay off for you. I want all of you to be ultra successful in sales and business and life and networking, you name it. So hopefully a lot of these things that we've covered, Dan, will make it happen for them.
Well, this has been a truly incredible episode, Brandon. I'm so grateful for you for spending time. As we said, check out Seamless.ai and your latest book, The Power of Going All In. And I think that's the perfect summary of today's episode: is go all in helping people. Go all in giving as much value to your customers and audience as possible. Brandon, you have been incredible. Thank you to everyone who's listened or watched this episode. Go and follow Brandon on LinkedIn, check out Seamless.ai, and go and check out the book, The Power of Going All In. Brandon, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, man. Appreciate all of you for tuning in.
Take care, everyone.